11 months' time, all human beings in the future will be wiped from the face of the earth.
Chance that we can stop this war from ever happening. So we gotta fight.
We take a look at some of the most important war films that are available on Amazon Prime. There is a wide variety of films available on Prime Video, ranging from classics of the war to contemporary blockbusters and even some undiscovered gems. Due to the fact that the search function of the application might be a nuisance, we have cut it down to the best choices that demonstrate the sheer intensity of combat. Number 11. The Covenant.
We can't intervene.
I'm gonna have to get him out myself.
The Covenant, which was directed by Guy Ritchie, is a military drama that is both emotionally engaging and compelling, and it hits hard. In contrast to the conventional action movie directed by Guy Ritchie, this film takes a direct and uncompromising look at the conflict in Afghanistan. Jake Gyllenhaal, who portrays Master Sergeant John Kinley of the United States Army, and Dar Salim, who plays the role of Ahmed, an interpreter from Afghanistan, are the protagonists of this drama. As a result of Ahmed's desperation to save Kinley from an ambush, their improbable collaboration transforms into a relationship that saves their lives. Both Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim produce outstanding performances, the latter of which includes moments of quiet that convey more than words could ever express. However, the crux of the story is on Afghan interpreters who put their lives in danger to aid United States forces. The action feels genuine, but the story's core is about them. Along with a haunting historical setting and real photographs throughout the titles, the film acquires an additional dimension of realism and respect by incorporating Afghan language and culture into the storyline. Not only is The Covenant a movie, but it is also an enlightening experience. Number 10. T-34.
Это что, как гладиаторы, что ли?
Пантера прямо перед нами! Прямо!
The Russian war film T-34, which was released in 2019, was directed by Alexei Sidorov and takes place during World War II. This book chronicles the account of Nikolai Ivushkin, a young tank commander from the Soviet Union who was taken captive by the Germans after a fierce battle. In order to participate in a propaganda stunt, he is coerced into piloting a T-34 tank in a simulated battle. However, rather than complying with the demands of the situation, Ivushkin recognizes the opportunity to plot a daring escape with his crew. Tank battles that are violent, slow-motion images that are compelling, and the raw tension of being imprisoned inside a tank are all presented in abundance throughout the film. There are action sequences that will keep you on the edge of your seat, and it is gritty, patriotic, and visually spectacular. Number 9. The Wall.
Something's not right.
And I strike you down!
I know where you are now.
As you watch The Wall, you will find yourself thrust into the middle of a desert standoff, which is a dramatic military thriller that takes place during the Iraq military. Two American soldiers are trapped down by a sniper, and the only cover they have is a falling wall. The story chronicles their situation. The struggle for survival is a battle for survival, and every step they make could be their last. They have no support and very few supplies. The psychological undercurrent that runs throughout this movie is what makes it so memorable. More than just a physical danger, the sniper is a voice in their brains, playing mind games that increase the level of tension in the situation. By delivering performances that are unfiltered and riveting, Aaron Taylor-Johnson and John Cena make you experience every single second of the fight. In addition to being about battle, The Wall is also about the mental toll that people take and how far they will go in order to survive. Number 8. The Imitation Game.
What if only a machine can defeat another machine?
The importance of what I am creating here!
The Imitation Game is a biographical war drama that was released in 2014 and directed by Morton Tildum. The film takes place after World War II. The rigorous mission to decipher the Enigma code used by the Nazis is the primary focus of the movie. The movie delves into the interesting world of minds at war, led by Alan Turing, a bright but socially awkward mathematician who is portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch in a fantastic manner. Although the movie does not solely focus on battles, it does explore this fascinating alien world, as Turing and his crew engage in a race against time to rescue lives, all the while struggling with their own secrets and conflicts. You will be on the edge of your seat. Joan Clark, Turing's shrewd and helpful ally, is played by Keira Knightley, who brings passion to the role. In addition to garnering praise from critics, particularly for Cumberbatch's portrayal, The Imitation Game was also honored with a number of accolades, including the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. Number 7. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Abort this mission now.
During World War II, the film The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, directed by Guy Ritchie and starring Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, Alex Pettyfer, and Isa Gonzalez, captures the attention of audiences. The plot revolves around Winston Churchill's top-secret British army that he established. The Special Operations Executive, which is comprised of a gang of misfits, engages in combat with the Nazis using strategies that are daring and unique. In the role of Gus March Phillips, which is supposed to have been the inspiration for James Bond, Henry Cavill plays the lead role. The performances of the cast, which includes Alan Ritchson, Henry Golding, and Isa Gonzalez, are of a high quality. Tarantino-like intensity that keeps you guessing is there in the film, which is tough, stylish, and playful all at the same time. In terms of the war genre, it is anything but average because it features spectacular action and a new twist on the genre. Number 6. Hyena Road.
3-9er Alpha, what's happening in the village?
We have hostile action against civilians. They're taking kids.
Stand by.
Send it.
The Canadian military's role in Afghanistan is depicted in a manner that is both realistic and uncommon in the film Hyena Road, which is a riveting combat movie. The plot takes place in Kandahar province, where Canadian troops are constructing Hyena Road deep into territory controlled by the Taliban. The actors who play the roles of Paul Gross and Rossif Sutherland are featured in the film. In the course of his sentry duty, Warrant Officer Ryan Sanders, who is the leader of a sniper squad, is subjected to intense fire. Sanders and his team are forced to proceed on foot after their evacuation. Trucks are unable to reach them. They eventually take safety in a Pashtun village before being compelled to seek refuge there. In order to assist them in evading the Taliban, a tribal leader puts everything on the line. Concurrently, Captain Pete Mitchell, an intelligence officer, is on the lookout for a legendary Afghan freedom warrior who is referred to as the Ghost, with the objective of securing a formidable ally. The movie stands out due to the fact that it is distinctly Canadian in its perspective. It features brutal action sequences, genuine language, and a striking picture of the tension that exists between personal morality and duty in the midst of the chaos of war. Authenticity and sophisticated storytelling are the alternatives to Hollywood cliches that are avoided in this work. Number 5. The Tomorrow War.
Kind of a short story, I guess.
3, 2, 1.
The Tomorrow War is not your standard Hollywood war film. Rather, it is a science fiction action movie that is focused solely on providing pure enjoyment. Despite the fact that it may not have the most profound narrative, it offers a lot of intense action, a strong cast, great set pieces, and some terrifying aliens. Extreme warfare, high-stakes missions, and a storyline revolving on a drafted soldier are all elements that are included in the picture, which combines elements of science fiction and war films. A remarkable performance is being delivered by Chris Pratt, who is in the lead. From the beginning of the novel, humanity is on the verge of extinction, and it is being threatened by a dangerous alien. As a last-ditch effort to attempt to save the future, scientists develop technology that allows them to travel across time and recruit soldiers from the present into the conflict. Dan Forrester, a former soldier who has been thrown into a hazardous new battlefield, is one of the individuals involved. Along the way, he unearths a terrible fact about the adversary, and he is forced to take prompt action in order to alter the course of history for humanity. Number 4. A Private War.
If the government catches you, they'll kill you.
I see it, so you don't have to.
If you lose your conviction,
Marie Colvin, a gutsy war correspondent who became famous for her eye patch and her tireless reporting from some of the world's most perilous conflict zones, is the subject of the compelling movie A Private War. The story of Colvin is uplifting and profoundly moving at the same time. In the role of Colvin, Rosamund Pike gives an outstanding performance, convincingly portraying the dangers she endured in order to bring attention to injustice in countries such as Syria, Sri Lanka, and Libya. Not only does the film, which was directed by Matthew Heineman, honor her bravery, but it also sheds light on the human toll that her employment has taken on her. It demonstrates the sacrifices she took in order to bring the truth to light, ranging from times of naked vulnerability to periods of post-traumatic stress disorder. Number 3. The Auschwitz Report.
Alebo riskovať, aby to videl celý svet.
The Auschwitz Report 2021, which was directed by Peter Bebiak, is based on the true story of two Slovakian Jews named Rudolf Vrba and Alfred Wetzler, who fled from Auschwitz in 1944 in order to expose the atrocities that were being committed there to the rest of the world. They faced mistrust and disbelief when they delivered what became known as the Vrba-Wetzler Report, despite the fact that they risked everything to do so. The movie immerses you in the dreadful reality of the Holocaust, concentrating on the connection that the prisoners shared with one another and the work that they were trying to accomplish. By employing stark, monochromatic graphics, Bebjak emphasizes the desolate nature of their journey as well as the brutality that they were forced to suffer. The narrative builds up to a spooky conclusion in which a representative of the Red Cross casts doubt on their evidence, with the intention of emphasizing the sense of helplessness and the pressing nature of their attempts. Number 2. No Man's Land.
You should have gone home when you had the chance.
I want to help.
In the year 2001, Danis Tanovic directed the film No Man's Land, which is a war film that takes place during the Bosnian War. The plot revolves around two soldiers, Siki, a Bosniak, and Nino, a Bosnian Serb, who find themselves in a precarious situation where they are stranded between enemy lines and unable to escape. The third soldier, Sira, who is currently ensnared on a landmine, joins them at this point. A French United Nations sergeant named Marchand offers his assistance, despite the fact that he is under instructions to maintain his neutrality. The United Nations is under increasing pressure to take action as the issue continues to drag on. When it comes to the absurdity of war, No Man's Land is not simply another war movie, rather, it offers a cutting and darkly humorous take on the subject. The pointlessness and destructiveness of warfare is brought to light by this expression. Number 1. Act of Valor.
This will be a hot extract!
Roger that.
The Bandito Platoon, an elite band of Navy SEALs, is engaged in a high-stakes mission to rescue a CIA agent who has been kidnapped. Act of Valor takes place during this mission. The Chechen terrorist Abu Shabal and the drug dealer Mikhail Kristotrofovich are the masterminds behind a vast terrorist scheme that targets the United States. The operation begins as a rescue operation, but it quickly reveals that, in an effort to thwart a coordinated attack that has the potential to take the lives of American citizens, the Navy SEALs embark on a global search and rescue mission. The path that they travel takes them from Costa Rica to the Philippines, then to Ukraine, then to Somalia, and eventually to the border between the United States and Mexico. The film is notable for its authenticity, as it features real Navy SEALs who are currently serving on active duty with the purpose of giving raw intensity and a realistic edge to the action and suspense.